again, on this topic, it's kind of interesting. I know you've addressed it. What do you think makes 2024, the expectations for the Browns, kind of, I think tricky is the word you used.
Oh, it's absolutely tricky, right? Because there's a question of like, has this team won enough to really have Super Bowl or bust expectations? Usually you have that for teams that are close, they got eliminated in the divisional round, and something drastically was wrong. Like if this team got to the divisional round and got eliminated close by Baltimore, oh, 1000% you earned Super Bowl or bust expectations. But this team got blown out in the wild card round. And look, they had a good run with backup quarterbacks, but that's kind of what happened to them. So, like, is it Super Bowl or bust expectations? What exactly do you expect out of Deshaun Watson? Like, has those expectations scaled back to what we've seen of Deshaun so far? Like, are we just like, hey, I want him to throw for 4,000 yards instead of, some people were predicting like 5,000 yards 2 years straight with him. So, like, where are we sitting with those expectations that we have of some of the most important pieces on the team? I don't think we're at a clear place with that. So, yeah, it makes these expectations tricky because as many people are saying that the Browns are going to get to the Super Bowl next year, there's as many people predicting that the Browns are going to go like 7-10. Like, it's funny. We went through a whole cycle with this last year where people were like, this team's going to get worse. They're going to win 6 games. And then this team wins 11 games in spite of that. And since they won 11 games, Dave, since everybody was wrong on that, that's going to be their justification for doing what all offseason? Well, there's no way they replicate that. They're going to go back to 7 wins. Like the expectations are going to be wild, all up and over the place. And we're going to have deja vu in July when we hear these predictions. We're like, wow, really? We're going there again. That's what we're doing. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and, add in Nick Chubb coming off serious knee injury, Deshaun Watson coming off throwing shoulder surgery. So there are key components that you think if they get back, boy, it's going to be this. But those are all, there's no givens. I mean, coming back from injuries is easy for you and I because all we have to do is say, yeah, he looks back. He looks like he's back.
Yeah. And it's a running back coming off of a knee injury at 28 years old.
Yep.
It's a quarterback coming off of a throwing shoulder injury at 28 years old. These aren't 22-year-olds, right? Like Grant Delpit coming off an Achilles at 22. Okay, whatever. He came back. He's fine. We haven't thought about that injury since, but the older you get, the more concerned you get about a player's ability to step back. Now, again, I think Adrian Peterson had that famous ACL tear and then won the Russian title afterwards. It's like 28. So it's not necessarily like, okay, it's over for Nick Chubb. This has never happened before. He can bounce back. And again, with Deshaun's injury, while it is a throwing shoulder surgery and that always makes you nervous, it's important to point out that it's not a pitcher injury or pitcher surgery they had to give, right? It wasn't like a muscle tear or anything. It was just a bone break, which those tend to heal a lot cleaner and without the need of other parts in the body that would slow down his arm or make his arm more susceptible to injury.